I awoke, very much like the majority of my mornings, with a hangover. I clutched my forehead and moaned in dizzy agony as I slowly but surely opened my tired eyes. But something was different. In fact, not just something, but many things, by the looks of things. Or lack of things. Blackness. Utter blackness is what I awoke to as I tried to fumble for my lamp switch, only to roll over onto a cold steel floor. I blinked in the dark, before fumbling in my suit pocket for my phone. 10% battery. Damn. I shone it around to find out that I was certainly not in my grumbly as hell apartment, but something far, far worse. Don't get me wrong, the apartment I stay in isn't exactly well kept, but the room I awoke in was so devoid of anything, made it look like a damn palace. Black, brown, and God knows what else stained the steel flooring as I stumbled to my feet, shining the light everywhere I could to get a clear view. No windows, no light, no vents, not even a door was in this unpleasant box. 9% battery. Confused, I tried to think back at what happened the night before. There was drinking, of course, there was gambling, but there was something else, something sinister, I thought to myself, scratching my brow. Ah, it hit me. I had a run-in with a debt collector. Being a gambling man, I guess it made sense that I probably owed money to all sorts of people, but I suppose I didn't expect someone the size of a bull would stop me outside of the casino. After a fruitless few rounds of poker, grab me by the collar and throw me into a van and drive off God knows where. I guess I fell asleep. Or maybe it was being punched in the face after I had the door open. 8% battery. I sat down again, waiting for some form of human contact. I've been in these situations before. I knew what was going down. Some clown in a fancy suit was going to come down here and beat me senseless, throw me outside. Nothing new, I thought. But of course, that would be too easy. Click. Whir. Something was moving outside the box, something like a vehicle, I thought. Still blissfully unaware of what was coming next. What's going on, I thought, as I leaned against the walls. But before I knew it, I felt like I was being slowly pushed forward. I jumped away from it, pointing my phone at the walls. It hit me then. A crushing realization. It wasn't a vehicle that was moving, no. It was the walls themselves, the centers of which had large, red, sickening stains. 7% battery. If there was any way out of this, I needed to find it fast. I felt around the walls as fast as I could, frantically slamming my hands onto the metal walls as I fruitlessly scrambled across the room. I stopped, paused, took a breath. The walls were at least 10 meters away from me. I had time. I had time to find a way out, to escape. I was sure of it. Collecting myself, I took a breath before taking back my phone and shone it around once more. 6% battery. Come on, I thought. There has to be something, anything. I screamed for help, for dear life, as I felt and slammed against the walls madly. 5% battery. I sat. I did this last thing any sane man would do in this situation. I laughed. I laughed like I had been told the funniest joke in the world, like I had been gassed or something. I screamed to the death walls. Out of all the things, I shouted, still laughing madly. Out of all the things you could have used to intimidate me, this takes the cake. Very funny, I yelled. Very, very funny. Trapping me here to teach me a lesson. I get it. No more gambling and no more money lending. I know you're just joking. Just please let me go. I waited for a response, for the walls to stop making their groans, for them to stop moving. As if my brash creatures would make an effort. I know you're not going to kill me. You might as well just stop now. 4% battery. After a few seconds of nothing, I screamed louder than ever. No laughter this time, just pure hot-blooded rage as I pounded furiously against the walls, which were still homing in. I shot obscenities left and right, kicking and punching the black darkness like a toddler in a tantrum. Before long, my fatigue got the best of me, and I sat down, defeated, spent. 3% battery. The walls were close. 5 more minutes and I would be a modern art masterpiece. What else were there to do? What else was there to do? I thought, as I panted, thinking hard on whether there was any way out. I decided to do the only thing I could do. If you let me out, I'll pay you back. I've got the money, I pleaded, weakly. I promise I'll pay you back, with interest. Just let me go and you'll get your money, please. I waited, with bated breath for a response, and against all odds, the walls stopped. I was dumbstruck. Had my pleas worked? I waited in the dark, now noiseless room. But sure enough, to my utter terror, the whir of the walls came back into motion. As they started to crawl towards me once more, now over halfway. There was no hope for me now. No hope at all. 2% battery. I sobbed, babbling like an infant as tears streamed from my eyes. As memories of friends, my life flashed in my mind. I had so much to live for. Why did it have to be me? I wallowed in my self-pity for a time before it seemed that the wells of tears had all but dried up. I wiped my sore eyes before I went back to my phone, and I flicked through my contacts to possibly make a few last-minute texts. Apologies, mostly. 1% battery. Ex-girlfriend, no. Dad, no. Mom, yeah, decided. I wrote a new text to her and typed some simple last few words. Sorry for being an ass. She'll giggle at that, even if it is a bit morbid. I closed my eyes. I was ready for this. I suppose this was a kind of sick karma, considering how many lives I ruined and how much other people's time I'd wasted. A fitting kind of end, I suppose. And I guess it beat some of the dumb ways other gamblers went. I waited in the dark box for death to come, for the time to run out. And then, the phone died.